What's going on, guys? Tyler from Death Valley Mining, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how within about 60 to 120 days, I think I'm going to put 90 there in the title because it's smack dab right there in the middle, you can go ahead and basically get a free GPU mining rig by using this strategy that up until about a month ago when I bought 150 GPUs and it just no longer became feasible. This is a strategy that I personally use and I kept track of. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into my computer and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at exactly what this strategy was that ended up making me basically have my hardware for almost free. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. So basically I'm just gonna take you through the exact Google Sheet that I was using 2 months ago to keep track of all of this as I went through this process. So what's the strategy? The strategy is I was buying and selling my graphics cards rather than just throwing them in a rig and letting them mine. Through the process of purchasing cards, whether that be on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, eBay, whatever the case is on where you're sourcing your graphics cards, I was buying those cards, getting them home, cleaning them up, taking pictures, posting them locally on Facebook Marketplace, even if I'd only bought them 20 minutes prior, and then going ahead and putting them in my crypto mining rigs. The thought process there is the cards are sitting there already, and if I'm doing a good job at buying those cards, and what I mean by that is if you can look here at my purchase price of what I had bought these cards for, I was negotiating pretty heavily. I'm lucky to live in an area where there was lots of GPUs available, and there continues to be lots of GPUs available locally around me. So I was able to kind of use that to my advantage. And for every 5 offers I sent, only 1, maybe 2 of them would actually accept my offer, and I was fine with that. Because I've always been in the mindset of that you make your money when you buy something, not when you sell it, because you can't make money if you don't buy it right. And so as you can see here, my purchase price on 3060 Ti's, I like to keep that at around 160 to 180. Keep in mind, this was about 3 to 4 months ago when I had first gotten into mining. Card prices are already starting to increase. So now I'd probably be more looking at like the 180 to 210 range if I was looking to purchase. Because I know I could probably sell those locally for about 240 to 250. So with that said, as you can see as we go down the list, these are all the different cards that I had purchased during that period of time. These are the purchase price, and then these are the sell prices that I ended up actually getting for those cards and what the profit margin ended up being on each specific unit. The blue indicates the cards that I currently had in my rig, and you can see here was the cost of my current cards, and this constantly changed based on what I currently had in my inventory, I guess you could say. But what's cool here is the way I kept track of this is my initial investment, and when I say initial, it was kind of revolving, so it kind of went up and down, but my total money in on these 8 cards that I was running at the time was $1,430. Now from the other cards that I had sold off, I had profited $980, which meant that I had recouped or captured 68.5% of my initial investment of $1,430 back into my pocket, which is amazing. Again, this is really not for the people that have got a ton of money and could care less, but for me, this was a way to additionally mitigate my risk in this space. One question that I know my friends ask me is like, why would you put money into hardware, or why would you put money into mining when you can just buy the coin? Like, why wouldn't I just put this $1,430 into Bitcoin today instead of putting $1,430 into GPUs that can mine cryptocurrency? My answer to them is always because I'm trying to mitigate my risk. Cryptocurrency, while I'm crossing my fingers and hoping this never happens, and I truly believe it never will happen, what would happen if crypto went to nothing tomorrow? Well, this $1,430 would be gone. Whereas if I put this $1,430 into these 8 GPUs, there will always be a demand from gamers and from anybody in the PC space for GPUs. So for me, even if crypto went to nothing, I still would be able to recoup my investment. So not only am I mitigating it there, but I'm also mitigating it by then I'm listing these cards that I have on my mining rig and selling them for a profit over the period of time that I'm mining, also generating revenue in that way. And I'm collecting profit off of that, which is diminishing the amount of money that I actually have into my hardware. Now, for anybody in the comments that wants to give me crap for reselling GPUs because you could consider me part of the problem, I don't care. my comment to that would be, if you look at the prices that I'm actually selling these cards for, I'm selling them for right at, or even sometimes a little bit below what you could get these cards for at the time on eBay. And a lot of that comes into the negotiating really didn't happen on the sell side, it happened on the buy side. Again, I've always been an avid believer, the money you make in any transaction happens when you buy something, not when you sell it. If you don't buy something right, you're not gonna make money on it. And so with my negotiating on the upfront investment, that ultimately allowed me to sell these cards right at about what they're actually worth. And that's how I was able to capture the profit on each one of these cards, which typically ended up being in the 15 to 20% range, which I was completely fine with. Again, keep in mind, these cards were on my rig making money every day. And so for me, if I could immediately sell that card for $40 or $50 profit, that's way more than what that card is going to generate in profit on a monthly basis. So for me, even if that slot was vacant for a week, 2 weeks, it didn't matter. I was still making more money having that card gone and not having a card to replace it by selling it and capitalizing on the profit that I was making off of that card, rather than keeping it in my rig and just holding on to it for dear life. And as you can see, I had no problem replacing that, so it wasn't an issue. If this was 4 years ago, when I wasn't even into mining then, but I'm an avid gamer, and I saw what the market did to the GPU market, this would not work in a market where GPUs, or at least it wouldn't work as well in a market where GPUs are extremely hard to get, right? I'm able to take advantage of the fact that I've got a lot of GPUs in my area. I can negotiate them pretty heavily, and I can still sell them for a fair market value while being able to capture profit and ultimately lowering my initial investment on my mining hardware. Alrighty, that's gonna be it for this one. Kind of quick, to the point, but I wanted to kind of share that strategy as it worked really, really well for me when I had just gotten into crypto mining. Obviously, now that I've got a ton of cards, it's not gonna be something that I'm gonna be doing right now. Right now, I'm kind of just in sell mode and selling a lot of the hardware that I have. But when you're first starting off, you can even use this strategy. If you just wanna buy 1 or 2 cards, if you don't have much money, but you wanna get into mining, buy 1 or 2 cards and then list them, flip them, and then buy a couple more, right? And then that'll eventually allow you to pay for a 3rd one for free and a 4th one, and so on and so forth. And you can kind of just build your rig organically and eventually have a crypto mining rig that you really don't have any money into. And ultimately, that is the best way to be into the crypto mining space with no money invested. That way, if it goes to 0, you didn't pay for anything. So that's a great way to get into things. But that's gonna be it for this one. Go ahead and subscribe. Put notifications on if you don't already. We've got a ton of videos coming down the pipeline. I've got 240 volt, 30 amp circuit getting installed into my electrical panel, I think in 2-3 days. So we'll have a video coming out about that to go ahead and actually turn all these rigs on and get everything operational. I had a lot of concerns in the last video about my electrical situation. You guys have been heard, I promise. I did a lot of research and I am not gonna burn my house down. So we're good to go there. I'm also switching all those SATA adapters, just newbie mistakes that I think that just growing pains of getting into the space. I'm not really doing this probably the way I should have and slowly getting into the space. I'm kind of diving head first into GPU mining with not much knowledge, which I do not recommend. That is not the way to go. But here we are, we're doing it. And crypto's going crazy right now. So hopefully I'm on the right train, and we'll see where this takes us. But that's gonna be it for this one. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alrighty, you guys, and the bonus clip here, we're gonna be going ahead and choosing the winner for the 5700 XT GPU. So let's go ahead and slap the link in here. Go ahead and get all the comments put in here and get this picked. Thank you guys so much for the support on that. 118 comments or 94 comments. Just great. I know the support on there has been great. So we'll go ahead and pick this winner in 3, 2, 1. Altac, Death Valley Mining. I love the tidy job wiring. However, you made me a potential fatal mistake. He's talking about the SATA power issue. That has been addressed. I know I got a ton of comments. I actually have a video coming out about that because I don't want people thinking that I kept everything that way. I saw everybody's comments and I really appreciate you looking out for me. Newbie mistakes. I'm learning, but we're gonna get this figured out. Altrack89, shoot me an email. It is deathvalleymining@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and I'll go ahead and get this card shipped out to you.